Hey there! So today we have another review and very fun. I finally found a pretty fresh bottle of Stone freaking IPA. Obviously, they have updated this recipe. This is Stone IPA 6.9%. And was bottled when?
Bottled January 17th of 2020.
Month as pretty much as fresh as we can get it.
That's nice.
Yeah, in distribution, that's pretty much as fresh as we can get it. So, yeah. So, really excited. This is a classic American IPA. I can post a video to you guys, if I remember. But this shows, like, my sort of comparison with the IPAs that I did a comparison with. And I think this actually showed pretty well. So,
I'm saving all of our
classic West Coast. These are the West Coast IPAs. So, this beer comes in, obviously different from all the colors of our other IPAs. This one comes in a deep gold color. Clear as hell. Yeah. Clear as hell. Yeah, you can see it in that glass. It comes in a deep gold color. Has a wonderful, slightly off-white head.
I wouldn't say deep gold. This is a fresh gold. Like, this is nice. Clean.
Yeah, medium to deep gold, right?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Oh. Has definitely, like, some kind of...
West Coasty. Dankness.
Like, berry fart thing going on.
Yeah. They say complex tropical and flavors.
I don't know that I pick up too much on tropical.
So much garbage words in this, by the way. So,
I
bright
try not to read
hot
those.
fruitiness, piney vibrancy.
I get, like, maybe a stone fruit. Oh, you know what? Star fruit again. Yeah, like star fruit, grapefruit, kinda. Like, there's, like, hints of it. Like, this isn't super aromatic, actually. I mean, there's some aromas there, but it's like...
I do have it a little cold, and I get some pine. I get a little bit of this kind of West Coasty kind of like malt to it, a little bit of like light chew of like biscuity malt.
Almost has like a bubblegum thing going on.
Yeah, there's a little bit of malt in here, and some like nice combination of like kind of like the tropical notes you're talking about, some orangey citrus, some of the classic sea hop character, and a little bit of malt too.
Oh, okay.
Pleasant, bitter.
Bitter. Yeah. So, okay. So this is one of those fun ones. This is what I like to describe as a roller coaster beer. Roller coaster beers to me. Okay. So there's this rise and then there's the fall. With this one, it starts off when it first hits your tongue, not a lot of flavor, kind of watery, aqueous, as Darwin likes to say. And then, boom, there's this pop of flavor. You get the hops, you get the bitterness, and you get like the fruitiness of it. And then it kind of fades off into a maltiness, hoppiness. So I start picking up on like a crackery, crusty type thing, croutony type thing, toasty,
Yeah.
like toasty crust.
The hop pop with like grapefruit peel, like a little bit marmalade-y. I get that like tree kind of thing, pine needles. The malt is actually not that intense for West Coast IPA. And this beer is properly bitter. It's medium plus bitterness. It tastes bitterness on this one, right?
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah. And as I was saying, there's aqueous kind of quality to it. It is, whereas the New England IPA.
As you were kind of saying, excuse me?
It tends to focus on this kind of like creamy, silky thing. This beer is flashy. It dries off palate. It's watery. And the malt sort of shows in the sweetness, complementing the hops, but it is, it flashes away and there's bitterness, right? It's snappy. It has a nice kind of, drinkability to it.
So getting down to the brass tacks here. Okay, so I like IPAs as a broad style. That is my favorite. West Coast tends to be one of my least favorites. New England style tends to be my absolute favorite. That being said, this is probably one of the better West Coast that I've had. And
Absolutely.
For me, it's the roller coaster of flavor.
Yeah.
I find that a lot of West Coast, for me, there's like some kind of like peak and then plateau. And with this one, there is a nice variety of flavor. There's a lot of movement on the palate. As far as like the different things that you're picking up. And it's kind of nice to see some malt characters that aren't like disgusting. I like this one. I think it's kind of fun. I like the bubble gum thing that they got going on. I like the toasty crust thing they've got going on in this one. I like how it starts out rather aqueous and then, hits those hops and then hits those malts.
Yeah.
And then kind of bitters out. This is a really cool variety in this one. Yeah, it's actually one of the better West Coast I've had. Rating. That's a difficult one for me. I'm gonna go ahead and give it 92.
So close. I'm gonna give it 93. I like how this beer has probably changed in time. The maltiness has definitely driven away from probably its recipe. I like where it's probably bitter. Wow, the bitterness is here.
Yeah.
And, the comparisons would be Sierra Nevada Torpedo, which is a lot more malty in general from what I've had, or just in general, like actually the fact of, what I've had. Voodoo Ranger is a little less like poppy for me, and it's a great West Coast IPA. Like, I know they updated the recipe, but I don't taste the facts of like, maybe the tropical kind of flavors that I'm looking for, but maybe that's where my palate is at, where we're used to tropical flavors. So the subtlety of what this beer has and the updated hops are not that prevalent. It is clean, dry. The dryness is awesome.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste that malty. This beer is wonderfully clear and doesn't have that maltiness, despite the fact that it looks like a little bit of color.
Maltiness, yeah.
But I don't get that much. And
I think it's kind of fair to say the evolution of how hops appear in IPAs, even over the last 5 years, is really interesting. I think that, a lot of these IPAs, they were really shy at first with the hops. And, I'm seeing even an evolution as someone who doesn't even drink beer as much as Darwin. I'm seeing a gradual evolution of hops in beer and just, how breweries are honing in on these specific flavors and what actually hits your palate instead of just packing it full of random ass hops. They're actually starting to come up with things they're evolving. They're becoming so much more prevalent and so much more noticeable in beers.
Yeah.
And this is an example of that.
Great beer. Their updated Stone IPA is fantastic. 93 for me. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.